Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Sit down, please. I'd like to speak English today too, to improve my speaking skill. Let's get it started. Today it is on February 16th, 2024. It's on Friday and sunny. How are you spending Friday? Have you finished working or studying? Or are you still working? Are you excited for the weekends? Do you have a plan for the weekends? Or do you have to work or study on weekends? Are you obliged to work on weekends? Are you forced to work on weekends? Are you compelled to study or work on weekends? Or instead of that, do you have a day off in the middle of the weekdays? Do you have a day off in the weekdays? In the weekday? Do you have a day off in a week? How many day off do you have in a week? Or in a month? While it was very cold outside, we enjoyed playing board games. While it was very cold outside, we enjoyed catching balls. While the flight ticket was a little bit expensive, I bought it to join the party. While the flight ticket for round trips are a little bit expensive, I bought them for the wedding ceremony of my best friends. While the flight ticket of round trip was expensive, I bought the ticket in order to participate in the very important event. While the round-trip ticket was very expensive, I bought it so as to participate in the ceremony. While the round-trip ticket to the destination was very expensive, half as much expensive as I bought it in an attempt to take part in the wedding ceremony. While Japanese yen has been dropping, some rich people can afford having a foreign trip. While Japanese yen has been dropping, those rich can afford to have a foreign trip. I am envious of them. While I study twice or three times as long as others, my score is average at the best. While I study twice or three times as long, my score is average at the best. I do my best half as much again as others. My accomplishment is on average at the best. While I do my best half as much again as others, my grade is average at the best. While I do my best half as much again as others, my grade is average at the best. While I do my best half as much again as others, my grade is average at the best. While it was very early morning, there were already many tourists swimming in the ocean at the beach. While it was early morning, I found some people swimming in the ocean. While it was very early morning, there were already some people at the beach. While typhoon was approaching, the festival was pushed for. While typhoon was approaching, the festival was held. While the typhoon was approaching, the festival took place. Disregarding the order to stop from the mayor, turning a blind eye to the order to stop from the mayor, turning their backs on the order to stop from the mayor. While 30 years have passed since he bought the books, they look as good as new, for he hasn't read them at all. While about 35 years have passed since he bought the books, they look as good as new and intact, for he hasn't read them at all. While he bought the books about 30 years ago, they look as good as new and intact, as he hasn't read them at all. While about 35 years have passed since he bought the books look as good as new, for he hasn't read them at all. while while people out there are not interested in the field, they are forced to work on them. While I didn't want to take part in the party, I did, in order to create a good relationship with them. While I didn't want to participate in the party, I did, in order to create better relationship with them. Well, it was 30 minutes past 0 o'clock a.m. We went to the restaurant to have some cuisines. Well, it was 30 minutes past 0. We went to the restaurant to have late dinner. While the product A is very expensive, it is selling very well. While it was 30 minutes before the opening hour of the amusement park, there were already many people lining up in front of the entrance. While it was only 30 minutes before the opening time of the amusement park, there were already many people lining up in front of the entrance. While it was 1 hour before the opening time of the amusement park, there were already many people lining up in the queue in front of the entrance. While it was a very early morning and 1 hour and 30 minutes before the opening time of the amusement park, there were already many people lining up in the queue in front of the entrance. While it was the day before the release of the video game, there were some people lining up in front of the shop in order to get the video game. While I study or do my best, half as much again as others. My grade is average at the best. Because I'm stupid. I'm an idiot. While I study twice or 3 times as hard as others, my grade is average at the best. While I study twice or 3 times as much, my score and grades is average at the best. What happened to me? While his grade is excellent, but I cannot place my trust in him. While his grades is high, I cannot place my trust in him somehow. While his grades is high, I cannot place my trust in him. While his grades is high. While his grades is high. While his grades is high. I cannot place my trust in him. I cannot place my trust in him. Well, it was 1 hour after the class stopped. Class ended. There were some people lingering on in the classroom. While it was 1 hour after the finish of the school, there were some students lingering on in the classroom. While it was already 8 o'clock p.m., there were some students still studying in the classroom. While it was already 8 o'clock p.m., there were some students still studying in the classroom because it was with the light on in the classroom. While it was already 8 o'clock 30 minutes p.m. at night, there were 2 students still studying in the classroom because the light was on only in the classroom, which made me notice. While I practice the musical instrument, twice or 3 times as long as average, my skill is not improving. What happened? While I practice the musical instrument, twice or 3 times as long as average, my skill is not improving. While I practice the musical instrument, half as long again as others, or average, my skill is not improving. What happened? What are the reasons? While I practice the musical instrument, half as long again as the average, my skill is not improving. While I added a lot of pepper on the soup, I didn't feel the taste at all. While a lot of wasabi horseradish was included in the sushi, he didn't feel the pungent spice. What has become of his sense of taste? What happened to his sense of taste? Does he have sense of taste? Or is he even a human? While a lot of wasabi horseradish was added in the hand-formed sushi, he didn't feel the pungent spice at all. While a lot of wasabi horseradish was included in the hand-formed sushi, he didn't feel the pungent spice at all somehow. While my friends left the school 5 minutes earlier, I catch up with them sooner. While my friends left the school 5 minutes earlier, I catch up with them sooner. Soon. While I left my school 5 minutes earlier, my friends caught up with me. While I left my school 5 minutes earlier, my friends caught up with me immediately. While the local train left the station 5 minutes earlier, it was taken over by the express train soon. While the local train left the station 5 minutes earlier, it was taken over by the express train soon. While the local train left the station 5 minutes earlier, it was taken over soon after by the express train. While it was snowing so heavily, we enjoyed making a snowman. While it was raining so heavily, we enjoyed sightseeing. While it was raining so heavily, we enjoyed sightseeing. Some people like driving a car, while others don't. Some people like to collect foreign currencies, while others don't. Some people like to drink alcoholic beverages, while others don't. Some people are interested in musical, while others are not. Hmm. While being faced with difficulties has a bad side, it also has a good side. While being faced with difficulties has a bad side, It also has a good side. While being confronted with difficulties has bad sides, it also has a good sides. While being confronted with predicaments has a bad side, it also has a good side. We can grow and learn from the lessons so that we won't make the same mistakes, and so on. Without making mistakes, we won't grow, right? While being confronted with difficulties, predicaments, hardships has a bad side, it also has a good side. While gaining popularity has a good side, but it also has a bad side. Taking a flight to the destination has merits, but also it has demerits. While some areas in the earth has been affected by drought, other areas in the world has been suffering too much flooding. While some areas in the world has been suffering from serious drought, other areas are suffering from serious flooding due to climate change, weather variation, climate change, such as global warming. Some areas have been suffering from severe drought, while some other areas have been suffering from severe flooding in the world. Some areas in the world suffered from severe drought, while other areas suffered from severe drought. Some areas in the world suffered from severe drought, while other areas suffered from flooding. While some people like to play outside even in very cold weather, others don't. Others prefer to stay inside. While some people like to stay inside when it is raining, others like to play outside even when it is raining. While some people like rainy weather, others don't like it. Some people like rainy days, while others don't. While some people like rainy days, others don't. While some people like rainy days, others don't. While some people like sunny days, others don't. While some areas in the world recorded high temperature, other areas recorded lowest temperature. While some people prefer to live in urban cities, others prefer to live in countrysides. While some people prefer to live in an urban city, others prefer to live in a countryside. Some people prefer to live in urban city, while some others prefer to live in countryside. Some people prefer to live in the urban city, while some others prefer to live in countryside. Some people prefer to live in urban city, while others prefer to live in the countryside. Some people prefer to live in the countryside, while others prefer to live in an urban city. While the celebrity was broadcasted as a superhero in public, he was engaged in criminal activities behind the scenes. While the celebrity was being broadcasted as a superhero with good image and as a model, as a human, he engaged in many wrongdoings behind the scenes. While the entrepreneur of the company looks very successful in front, his background is filled with predicaments, hardships. While the career and accomplishments made by the entrepreneur look very successful, his background is filled with predicaments. While his career accomplishments are filled with success, his background is filled with predicaments. While the career accomplishments made by the entrepreneur look very successful, his life was disaster. His life had been chaotic until he achieved them. While the career's accomplishments made by the entrepreneur look very successful, his life was very chaotic until he achieved them. While the cuisine is very expensive, but I don't find it tasty, yummy. While the cuisine is reputed well and has a good price, but I don't find it tasty. While the tour was reputed well and advertised well, but I couldn't find it fun. I couldn't enjoy the trip. Maybe I have a different taste, point of view, viewpoint. While taking the bus to the destination has merits, it also has demerits. While taking the bus to the destination has merits, it also has demerits. While more and more jobs will be replaced by AI, more and more new jobs will be created. While more and more current jobs will be replaced by AI, more and more new jobs will be created. While more and more current jobs are replaced by AIs, more and more new jobs will be created. Because it is said the history repeats. Because it is said history repeats. History is said to repeat. History is said to repeat. While some people spending Sunday idling away, others working on their hobbies enthusiastically. While some people spend Sunday doing nothing, others work on their hobbies enthusiastically. While some people work on their hobbies enthusiastically on Sunday, others spend Sunday doing nothing. While some people work on their hobbies eagerly, enthusiastically, others spend Sunday idling away. Some people spend Sunday working on their hobbies eagerly, while others don't. And some people spend Sunday working on their hobbies eagerly, while others don't. While I got lowest score on the physics test, I got the highest score on English test in the classroom. While I got the lowest score on the math test in the classroom, I got the highest score on English test. I got the highest score on English test, while I got the lowest score on math test in the classroom. I got the highest score on English test in the classroom, while I got the lowest score on physics test in the classroom. Some areas in the world have been suffering from severe drought, while other areas have been suffering from severe flooding. due to climate change. While spring is approaching in South Hemisphere, no. While spring is approaching in Northern Hemisphere, autumn is approaching in the South Hemisphere. Spring is approaching in Northern Hemisphere, while autumn or fall is approaching in the Southern Hemisphere. Autumn is approaching in the Southern Hemisphere, while spring is approaching in Northern Hemisphere. While it was raining so heavily, we enjoyed playing soccer. While some areas in the world have been suffering from severe drought, other areas have been suffering from severe flooding. Some people spend Sunday sleeping long time until noon, while others get up early in order to take advantage of the holiday. Some people sleep until late in the morning on Sunday, while others get up early as usual to make the most of the holiday. Some people sleep until late in the morning on Sunday, while others get up early as usual in order to make the most of the holiday. Which type of person are you? Which type of person are you? While some people get up early in the morning on Sunday so as to make the most of the day off, others get up late in the morning, while some people get up early on Sunday in a bit to make the most of the day off. Others don't. Others sleep until late in the morning. While some people add a lot of dressing on the vegetables, while others don't. Some people add a lot of dressing on the vegetables, while others don't at all. While some people add a lot of pepper in the ramen soup, others don't. Some people add nothing into the ramen, while others add a lot of pepper in it. Some people don't add anything in ramen, while others add a lot of pepper into that. While some areas in the world have been suffering from severe drought, other areas have been suffering from severe flooding due to climate change. Because of climate change, owing to climate change, on account of climate change. While there were many customers lining up in the queue in front of the restaurant, there was no queue at all in front of the restaurant B. There were many people lining up in front of the restaurant A, while there were no customers lining up in front of the restaurant B during the lunchtime. While there were many people lining up in the queue in front of the restaurant A for lunch, there were no people lining up in front of the restaurant B. There were no people lining up in front of the restaurant B, while there were many people lining up in front of the restaurant A for lunch. He shows no interest in mathematics class, while he shows such a strong interest in physical education class. He shows such a strong interest in physical education class, while he shows no interest in mathematics. While he is excellent at physics, he is bad at speaking in public. While he is very excellent at mathematics, he is very bad at language. While he is very strong physically, he is very weak to criticisms. While he is very strong physically, he is very weak mentally. He is very weak mentally, while he is very strong physically. He is very strong physically, while he is very weak mentally. He is very weak mentally, while he is very strong physically. Some people prefer quantity to quality, while others prefer quality to quantity. Some people prefer quality to quantity, while others are the opposite. Some people prefer quality to quantity, while others are the opposite. He is very weak to being criticized, while he is very strong physically. He is very weak mentally, but he is very strong physically. Do you believe in the rumor that the comedian was involved in the wrongdoing? What's the matter? What happened? What's the problem? What's the matter? What's wrong? What's the matter? What is the matter? What is the matter? What's the problem? What made you wanna be a chemist? What made you wanna be a chemist, physicist, engineer, baseball player, musician, mathematician, physicist, surgeon, physicist, physician, physician. I often confuse with physician and physicist. Chemist. What do you want to be a chemist? To become a chemist was my dream. To become an astronaut was my dream. To become chemist was my dream. Chemist. One of my friends from high school was aiming at becoming a chemist, but he changed his mind and took a different course. One of my friends from high school was aiming at becoming a chemist. It doesn't matter. Whether or not it will be rainy doesn't matter. Whether or not it will be rainy or not doesn't matter. Whether it will be rainy or not doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Matter. The matter is made of matter. The matter is made of iron. The matter is made of sand. Believe it or not, the matter is made of sand. 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 Matter. The matter is beyond the reach of my coverage. The matter is beyond the reach of my level. The matter is beyond the reach of common sense. Matter. New matter. New matter was found while excavating the land. New matters must exist in the universe, in the asteroid. Mysterious matters must exist in the asteroids. Matter. Mysterious matters which are not found in the earth. Dark matter. Matter. Can you understand the theory that the time is delayed in space, where the time it is moving so fast? Can you understand, comprehend, figure out the theory that the time is delayed in the space where it is moving so fast? Do you remember whether I took the medicine or not? Do you remember whether I took the medicine or not? I often forget whether I have taken the medicine soon after. I often forget whether I have taken the medicine. So after making some mistakes, in order to prevent me from taking the same medicine twice, I made it a rule to check the calendar if I have drunk the medicine. In order to avoid me from taking the medicine twice, I make it a rule to make a sign on the board soon after taking the medicine. Do you remember whether I put my belonging on the table or not? Do you remember whether we visited the spot today? Do you remember whether we turned left at the corner? Do you remember which course we took? Do you remember which course we climbed the mountain with? Do you remember which course we took to climb the mountain? Do you remember whether we took the course or not? Do you remember whether I took the medicine? Do you remember whether I took the medicine? I'm sorry, but I was wondering if you could move over a little bit more. Oh, sorry, I hadn't realized I didn't realize that I was taking up so much space. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that I had been taking up so much space. Here it is. I'm sorry, but I was wondering whether I could have a word with you privately from now. So I know it is, although it is on such a short notice, excuse me, but I was wondering if we could have a word privately, although it is on such short notice. I'm sorry, but I'm in such a hurry. I'm in 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 a hurry. I'm sorry, but I'm in a hurry. I'm sorry, but I'm in a hurry. I am sorry, but I'm in a hurry. I'm in such 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 a hurry. In such a hurry. In such a hurry. In a hurry. In such a hurry. In a hurry. In a hurry. In such a hurry. In such a hurry. In such a hurry. In such a hurry. In a hurry. In a hurry. In such a hurry. In such a hurry. In such a hurry. I'm sorry, but I'm in such a hurry. I'm sorry, but I'm in such a hurry. I am sorry, but I'm in such a hurry. I am sorry, but I'm in such a hurry. I am sorry, but I'm in such a hurry. I am sorry, but I'm in such a hurry. I am sorry, but I'm in such a hurry. I am sorry, but I'm in such a hurry. I am sorry, but I'm in such a hurry. I am sorry, but I'm in such a hurry. I'm in a hurry. I'm in a hurry. I'm in a hurry. Sorry if you are in a hurry. Thank you for coming, sparing your time to visit our meeting, although you are in such a hurry. Thank you for those participating in this event, though you are in such a hurry. Thank you for sparing your precious time to join our party. although you were in such a hurry. Thank you for sparing your time to attend this meeting. I do my best to make you satisfied with this event. Thank you. I will do my best to make you surprised and satisfied with today's event. I will do my best to make you satisfied with today's event. Thank you. I will do my best so that I can make you satisfied with today's event. Thank you. Thank you for visiting our event. Thank you for taking part in our event. Although you were in such a hurry. Excuse me, I'd like to speak with the section in chief. Let me see if he is back at his desk. Oh, you are in luck. He just come back. I will transfer the phone to his department. It's a pity that you might be transferred to the branch office. Excuse me, but I'd like to speak with the general manager of your department. I'm sorry, but he is away from the office today. Shall I call back you later when he's come back? Shall I have him call back you too? Shall I have him call back to you when he's come back? Sure, thank you. Excuse me, I'd like to speak to the general manager of your department. I'm sorry, he's away from the office. Shall I have him call you? Shall I have him call back to you when he's come back? Sure, thank you. Excuse me, I'd like to speak with the general manager of your department. I'm sorry, he is away from the office. Shall I get him call back to you? Shall I get him to call back to you? Shall I have him call back to you later? He's come back. Thank you. Or take a message. Would you like to leave a message? Or shall I take the message and transmit it to the general manager? Excuse me, I'd like to speak with the section in chief of your department. I'm sorry, but he is away from the office. Shall I have him call back to you when he's come back? Or would you like to leave a message? Shall I take the message? Excuse me, I'd like to speak with the general manager of your department. I'm sorry, but he's away from the office. Shall I have him call back to you? Shall I have him call back to you? Shall I have him call back to you? Shall I make him call back to you? Shall I get him to call back to you? Shall I have him 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 call back to you? Shall I get him to call back to you? Shall I have him call back to you? Shall I get him to call back to you? Shall I get him to call back to you? Shall I get him to call back to you? Shall I get him to call back to you? Shall I get him to call back to you? Why don't you try the trial? Can I try the trial? Why don't you try the trial? Why don't you have the trial? Give it a try. Give it a try. Go for it. We ought to be bold sometimes and go for it. The opportunity might not come back again. Why don't you have a try? Why don't you have the trial? Why don't you give it a try? Why not give it a try? Why not give it a try? Why not give it a try? How come you didn't give it a try? How come you didn't give it a try? Shall we give it a try? Shall we have the trial? It's free once. It's free once. Trial, trial, trial. What has become the trial between the company A and company B? Which one? I'm not sure. I don't care. Mind your own business. Mind your own business. It's none of your business. It's none of your business. It's none of my business. It's none of my business. Mind your own business. Mind your own business. It's none of my business. It's none of your business. More casualties are expected to be clear tomorrow morning after the disaster. More casualties are expected to come to light tomorrow morning. Now nothing. Now the visuality is limited. So as the sun goes up, as the sun rises, more casualties are expected to come to light. It came to light that the employee was willing to clean the toilet every morning. No wonder the toilet was very beautiful every day. It came to light that the wild animals were littering in our garden. It came to light that wild animals had been littering in our garden. That's why it was messy every day. It is said that more and more wrongdoings will come to light in 2024. More and more wrongdoings are said to come to light in 2024. More and more wrongdoings are said to come to light in 2024. More and more things are said to come to light in 2024. I hope it will come to light that the company is covering up many wrongdoings. More and more wrongdoings are said to come to light in 2024. It is said, it is believed that more and more wrongdoings will come to light in 2024. It is believed that more and more wrongdoings will come to light in 2024. It came to light that the employee was willing to clean the toilet every morning before other employees had arrived. Before other employees arrived. It came to light the employee had been cleaning the toilet every morning before other employees arrived. It came to light that the politician had been accepting bribes for decades. It came to light that the politician had been accepting bribes every year in return for something. It came to light that the politician had been accepting bribes for over 7 years. It came to light that the politician had been accepting bribes for a year. It came to light that the politician had engaged in a criminal activity, accepting bribes and illegal transactions. It came to light that the politician had delivered some money to the voters in order to win the election, in a bid to win the election, in an attempt to win the election, with a view to winning the election. It came to light that the politician had delivered some money to the voters with a view to winning the election. It came to light that the politician delivered some money to the voters with a view to winning the election, with a view to winning the election. I kept silence none the more just because I wanted to cover it up. The person proposed all the higher money because he wanted to cover it up. The person proposed all the higher price for wanting to cover it up. Don't cover it up, but be open. The person is believed to cover everything up related to his privacy. The person is said to cover everything up which works against him. The person is said to cover everything up which works against him. I cannot tell the difference between detectives and prosecutors. Can you tell detectives from prosecutors? 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 Can you tell prosecutors from detectives? Can you tell prosecutors from detectives? Can you tell prosecutors from detectives? Reading the manuscript word for word is super difficult for me. Would you mind helping me take down the posters? Would you mind helping me to take down the posters? Would you mind helping me take down the posters? Would you mind taking down the posters? Would you mind taking down the posters? Would you mind helping me take down the posters? Do you mind helping me take down the posters? Do you mind helping me take down the posters? Do you mind helping me take down the posters? Do you mind helping me take down the posters? Would you mind helping me take down the posters? Would you mind helping me take down the posters? Would you mind helping me take down the posters? Would you mind helping me take down the posters? I was the type of person who took down everything explained by the professors on the board. I was the type of person who took down everything explained by professors at the class. I was the type of person who took down everything explained on the board during the class. And I noticed when I focused on taking the explanation down on the notebook, which made me less understand the content of the class. While I focused on taking down what the professor explained on the board, I could less understand the content of the class because I focused so much on taking them down on the notebook. While I focused on, I concentrated on taking what the professor explained on the board on, which made me less understand the content of the class lecture. While I focused on taking down what the professor explained on the board, which made me less understand the content of the lecture. I was the type of person who took down everything explained by teachers, professors, associate professors, and so on. It has both merits and demerits. Merits is, of course, I can study with a notebook later, but focusing on taking down what the professor explained on the board makes me less understand the content of the lecture. So multitasking of them is very difficult for me. There were some students who never took a note of what the professor explained on the board, and which I think must help them to understand the content of the lecture, but they always relied on other students to lend them the notebooks for study. Which do you think is more important and informative? Studying at home with books or having the experience on the spot? Do you have the experience working in the industry on the spot? Have you seen horse racing 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 on the spot? Is the testimony reliable? Is the testimony based on truth? Is the testimony is true or false? Is the testimony true or false? Reading the manuscript word for word is super difficult for me. And playing the piece without any mistakes is very difficult for me. Word for word, word for word, word for word. Can you read the manuscript word for word in the public? Can you read the manuscript word for word without making any mistakes in public, through the TV, through the media? Can you read the manuscript word for word without making a mistake through the media, in front of a lot of cameras, TV cameras? Can you read the manuscript word for word without making a mistake at all through the media? Can you read the manuscript word for word without making a mistake at all in front of a lot of media cameras? Word for word, word for word, word for word, word for word. Can you translate the books into English word for word? Can you read the manuscript? Can you read the manuscript word for word in front of a lot of TV cameras? Word for word, 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 word for word. Word for word, word for word, word for word, word for word. Word for word, 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 word for word. Word for word, 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 word for word. I've been suffering from a pang of the pain, both mentally and physically. I've gone through many pangs which everyone else have experienced. I've been getting over the pang which everyone else have experienced. I'm getting over pangs, which everyone else have ever experienced. Pang. My grandfather drank Coke for the first time when he was 18 years old. My grandfather drank Coke for the first time in his life when he was 18 years old at the cinema. I went to see a doctor because I felt a pang on my left leg. Pang. I went to see a doctor because I suddenly felt a pang, sudden, strong pang on my left leg, which I couldn't put up with, stand. There. Pang. I felt a pang on my leg. I felt a pang on my leg. When I rejected the offer from the company, I felt a pang of conscience a little bit. Because I felt sorry. Because the company wanted me to work for the company. But there were many other things I wanted to work on, so I felt a pang of conscience. We will feel a pang of conscience at some point in our life. When I declined the offer from the company, I felt a pang of conscience because the company wanted me to work for the company. But there were many other things I wanted to work on, so I declined. I felt a pang of conscience. I felt a pang of conscience. Pang, pang, pang. Pang, pang, pang. I felt a pang. I felt a pang. I felt a pang. Pang. I felt a pang. Pang, pang. I felt a 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 pang. Those with conscience will never do such a thing. Those with conscience will never do such a thing. Those with conscience will never do such a thing. Those with conscience will never engage in such activities. Those with conscience will never engage in such a thing. Those with conscience will never be involved in such activities. Those with conscience will definitely not be involved in such activities. Pang, a pang of conscience. Pang, a pang of conscience. Pang, pang, a pang of conscience. Pang, a pang of conscience. Pang, pang, a pang of conscience. I've been suffering from pang of predicaments, hardships, mayhem, chaos. I've been suffering from both mental and physical pangs. I've been suffering from both mental and physical pang. 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 I've been suffering from both mental and physical pangs. Pangs. Pang. 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 I've been struggling with many pangs, both mentally and physically. I have been struggling with many pangs. I have been struggling with pangs. I have been struggling with many kinds of pangs. I have been struggling with many kinds of pangs. Pangs. Pang. 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 We will feel a pang of conscience at some point in our life. I felt a pain of conscience when I dismissed the offer from the company. The company wanted me to work for the company, but I dismissed the offer. I rejected the offer. I turned down the offer. Then I felt the conscience. I felt the pang of 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 conscience. Pang. I felt the pang of conscience. I felt the pang of conscience. Pang, 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 pang. Release me from all the pangs. Set me free. Release me from all the pangs. Release me from all the pangs. Pang. Release me from all pangs. Pangs, both mentally and physically. Pang, pang, pang. Pang, pang. Pang, 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 pang. Pang, 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 pang. pang, 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 pang. Pang. A pang of conscience. A pang of conscience. Conscience. I often confuse the word conscious with conscience. I often confuse the two words between conscience and conscious. I often confuse the word conscious with conscience. I conscious. It was not until I was called my name that I became conscious. It wasn't until I was poured cold water on my face that I came back. I became conscious. Conscience, 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 a pang of conscience, a pang of conscience. Conscience, a pang of 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 conscience. A pang of conscience, 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 a pang of conscience. Pang, a pang of conscience, a pang of conscience, a pang of conscience, pang. No other mountain in Japan is as high as Mount Fuji. No other person can run 100 meters within 9.58 seconds as of now. No other mountain is taller than Mount Fuji. No other mountain is taller than Mount Fuji in Japan. Mount Fuji is higher than any other mountain in Japan. No other lake is as large as Lake Biwa in Japan. No other lake is larger than Lake Biwa in Japan. Lake Biwa is larger than any other lake in Japan. I often find difficulty in finding a way out whenever I arrive at the station, subway station. I often have difficulty in finding the way out or exit whenever I go to the subway station. I often have trouble in finding the way out whenever I arrive at the station. It's too huge. Even if I get out of the station, I don't know where I am. I often have difficulty in finding a way out in the subway station. I often have trouble in finding a way out. I often have trouble in finding a way out in the train station because it's too huge. I often have difficulty in finding way out or exit whenever I arrive at the station because the station is very huge, super huge. Way out, way out, way out, way the way out, way out, way out, exit, way out. How is it written in your country? Way out or exit? Way out. I tried to get out of the station by finding the way out sign, exit sign. I tried to get out of the station following the exit sign, way out sign. I tried to get out of the station following the exit sign. Way out, way out, way out, way out, way out, way out. Way out, way out. I'm still haunted by mistakes I made in the past. Maybe I will suffer from the traumatic memories forever, eternally, everlastingly, for good. I've been haunted by the mistakes and embarrassing memories I made in the past. I've been haunted by embarrassing experiences what I had in the past. I have been haunted by the mistakes I made in the past. I'm haunted. Haunt. I'm still haunted by the mistakes I made in the past. I'm still haunted by the mistakes I made in the past. I'm still haunted by the embarrassing experiences I had in the past. I am still haunted by the embarrassing experiences I had in the past. I am still haunted by the embarrassing experiences I had in the past. I'm still haunted by the embarrassing experiences I had in the past. I am still haunted by the embarrassing experiences I had in the past. I'm still haunted by the embarrassing experiences I had in the past, but thanks to such experiences, I could grow and I can be more perfect so that I won't make the same mistakes. I could learn from the lessons. So thinking positively made me feel better. The 2011 earthquake, which hit northern east part of Japan, still vivid in my memory. The big earthquake still vivid in my brain memory. The natural disaster, which hit northern east part of Japan in 2011, still vivid in my memory. Vivid color. How often do you have nightmare? I frequently have a nightmare and forget on the day. I frequently have nightmare like every day and forget on the day. By and large, I prefer to study at home rather than to go to the parties. By and large, I prefer wine to beer. By and large, I prefer coffee to tea. 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 Generally, on the whole. By and large, I prefer coffee to tea. By and large, we feel happy when we get more than expected. By and large, we feel happy when we get more than expected. By and large, we feel happy when we get more than expected. By and large, many people have a day off on weekends. By and large, many people have a day off on weekends. What are the differences between reporters and journalists? What is the difference between reporters and journalists? Does it have does it just a different name? Is it just a different name? Is it just a different name? What is the difference between reporter and journalist? Reporter and journalist. Don't hesitate to talk to me. Don't hesitate to stop by the convenience store. Don't hesitate to ask me a question. I used to hesitate to enter a family restaurant alone. I used to hesitate to enter a family restaurant alone. Some people might find it difficult to talk to a foreigner in English. Some people might hesitate to ask a question to passers-by. Some people might hesitate to ask questions to the passers-by. Some people might hesitate to ask questions to the passers-by, pedestrian. The country A imposed stricter sanctions on the country B for intruding on the treaty. The country A imposed another sanction on the country B for intruding on the agreement. The person is suspected of intruding on the law. The country A is suspected of intruding on the act. The country A is suspected of intruding on the agreement. The person A was arrested for intruding on the owner of the author. We are educated not to intrude on others' privacy. The man was arrested for intruding on the celebrity's privacy. The title of the movie has been revised 3 times so far. The time schedule for the bus has been revised 3 times this year. The time schedule for the bus service was revised 5 times last year. You should buy the newest edition of the textbook, which has been revised recently, and it followed the recent laws and rules. You ought to buy the newest edition of the textbook, which follows the newest law and covers the recent change in the law, rules, and so on. You ought to buy the newest edition of the textbook, which has been recently revised to follow the changed rules and policies. I usually check my calculations time and time again, over and over again, to make sure of no mistakes, to be sure of make no mistakes, to be certain of no mistakes. I usually check my calculations over and over again, over and over, over and over, over and over, over and over again, time and time again. You should work on your business, not finding fault with others. While some people like to find fault with others, others like to find merits from them. Some people like to find fault with others, while others like to find good things in them from them. He is second to none when it comes to the speed of typing keyboard. He is second to none how much food he can eat. He is second to none when it comes to naming the character of the video games. He is second to none when regarding the topics about which he is going to talk. The trading card A is second to none when it comes to the price. It is the highest price in the world. She is second to none when it comes to the speed at which she brings her tasks to an end. She is second to none when it comes to the speed at which she brings the tasks to an end. In the theory, the speed of light is second to none regarding the speed. In the theory, the speed of light is second to none with respect to the speed. With regard to the speed, regarding the speed, in respect to the speed, in regard to the speed. Tokyo Sky 3 Tower is second to none regarding the height in Japan. Mount Fuji is second to none in regard to the height in Japan. Mount Fuji is second to none regarding the height in Japan. Mount Fuji is second to none in respect to the height in Japan. Mount Fuji is second to none with respect to the height in Japan. Don't find fault with others. Don't find fault with others. Don't find fault with others. But find merits from them. Some people like to find fault with others, while others like to find merits, good things from them. Some people like to find fault with others, while others don't. Some people like to find fault with others, while others like to find good sides from them. Some people like to find fault with others, while others like to find good sides from them. While some people like to find fault with others, others like to find good sides from them. Sorry, it's definitely my fault to fail to arrive at the station on time. It's my fault to have missed a flight. It's my fault to have missed a train. It's my fault to have missed a train. Failing to arrive at the station is my fault. I will compensate for that. I will make up for that. I will make up for that. Failing to arrive at the station is my fault. Absolutely my fault. Let me compensate for that. Let me make up for that. The cancellation of the flight is the weather's fault. Failing to meet the mission is the fault of none. The failure to meet the mission is the fault of no one. Nobody. The failure to meet the mission is the fault of nobody. The failure to meet the mission is the fault of nobody. Don't find fault with others, but mind your own business. Don't find fault with others, but mind your own business. Mind your own business. Mind your own business. Don't find fault with others. Don't find fault with others. While some people like to find fault with others, others like to find good sides from them. Some people like finding fault with others, while others like finding good side from them. Some people like finding fault with others, while others like finding good side from them. Some people like finding fault with others, while others like finding good sides from them. Sorry, it is definitely my fault to have missed the plane. Sorry, it is definitely my fault to have missed the train. It's definitely the fault of nobody. It's absolutely the fault of nobody. It's absolutely nobody's fault. It's absolutely nobody's fault. What is regarded as elite? Those having good grades are regarded as elite. What is the criteria to be regarded as elite? What is elite? Everyone can be elite. What is the criteria to be regarded as elite? What is the criteria to be viewed, seen as elite? What is elite? Are those getting higher grades at school regarded as elite? Are those with higher grades regarded as elite, viewed as elite, seen as elite? What is the criteria to be regarded, viewed, seen as elite? Everyone is elite. Everyone is elite. On the whole, everyone is elite. On the whole, everyone is elite in a particular field. On the whole, everyone is the elite in the particular field. On the whole, by and large, on the whole, on the whole, on the whole, on the whole, by and large, on the whole, by and large, on the whole, by and large, on the whole, 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 on the whole. I used to be criticized, but I'm sensitive to that now. I used to be used to getting criticized, but I'm super sensitive to them. I'm sensitive to criticisms. I'm sensitive to subtle changes in the environment. I'm sensitive to subtle changes in the environment. I'm super sensitive to faint changes in the environment. I'm sensitive to even jokes criticizing me. I'm sensitive to alcohol. I'm sensitive to subtle change in the environment. I'm sensitive to alcohol. I'm sensitive to alcohol. I am sensitive to caffeine. I am sensitive to caffeine, so I try not to drink coffee after 2 o'clock p.m. I'm sensitive to caffeine too much. Who are regarded as elite? Are those getting higher grades regarded as elite? Are those getting better grades regarded as elite? Are those with higher grades regarded as elite? Are those with higher grades viewed as elite? Are those with higher grades seen as elite? By and large, on the whole, 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 on the whole. By and large, on the whole, on the whole. Okay, I will finish speaking here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. See you.